most recently. I mean, like, these guys go back and forth. Like you said, it's a set that we're expecting to see.
Yeah, and we expect to see also these two characters as we get Jae-Yun versus Roman Reigns. So, you know, something where Yu's kind of had a question mark on what legend, but, you know, here at Skuld, there's just no question mark. Just going right into the Jae-Yun, the one that won BCX.
Yeah. See what happens here. That Taros has been a menace throughout many a bracket so far, so of course Kyna is going to be no exception to this, but let's see what kind of bridges we can get put together here on the side of Yu's.
Yeah, I want to get those big extensions going, but I think the one thing that's very noticeable about you specifically is very, very confident in the air versus Kyna, and it actually causes a lot of problems for Kyna. That's why we saw a Yumiko counter pick earlier on in the year, but right now, I mean, jumping and stacking right above Kyna vertically so that, you know, you can't get SWAT out of the air, and it's really, really working for you so far.
A little bit of a damage advantage so far over to Yu's. Greatsword, of course, can get some big swings coming in a moment.
Yep.
Kyna looking, jockeying around for the weapon spawn, but Yuz will pick up Greatsword once again, finds the 1-2 on the bridge, not going to get too much more after that, and Kyna with the get off me.
Yeah, dodging through the bridge after getting hit by it. Kyna dash up under with the N-Sig, and that is going to close out the stock. That's the one thing about Taros combos that, Taros Sigs I like to talk about, is the ability to just plug them into where you would normally hit a light attack. You just throw in a Sig, and instead of, you know, setting up advantage, it just KOs, and they're catching you stacking on top. And I think the one thing that we need to see is Yuz finding a lot of success on the regular sword.
Yeah, totally. And I think it honestly looked like, in my opinion, Yuz was really in control on that first stock as well. So to get swept out from under like that is a huge swing for Kyna early on. Let's see what kind of extra credit he can get here.
Yeah, axe in hand and looking to just pop Yuz up and get those juggles going versus the sword. And Yuz playing very grounded, but still taking quite a few hits as he's looking for this one down light, or maybe an end light there, especially at this damage for Kyna. The recovery does come in to catch the soft platform jump attempt from Kyna, and Yuz takes the stock, but takes about 100 damage in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Can Kyna get there in time? Yuz was patrolling the ground right there, but does pick up.
Just a down light there from Yuz to disrupt the ground and try to create some space, hold it on the grounded game, because that's the one thing that Kyna will do, is just completely dominate the ground game, whether on hammer or axe. And I think that's something that Yuz is already struggling with in this set, is just trying to get on the ground comfortably versus Kyna, but there's no reprieve. And you see Kyna doesn't even hit buttons and uses jumping, double jumping, burning dodges because of the fear of Kyna.
Yeah, there was a lot of panic there on the right side. I mean, Yuz went into 2 exclamation points on edge slip as well. Trying to get back right there. Big swing will bat Yuz away. Kyna maintains the lead right now.
So calm, cool, and collected so far, as Yuz has been just jumping around and trying to find the opening into Kyna, and just really hasn't been presented so far. Nice downlight into the nair, big damage, tries to read the dodge down with the ground pound, didn't find the timing, but a right option, and Kyna, I mean, just doing so much damage on this Taros, especially with the damage stance.
Recovery was where Yuz made his money on the first stock right there. We are approaching a damage threshold where a conversion into recovery on the regular sword will be enough to do it. It's close.
Yeah, and you see that. Sorry, go ahead.
Landing on that soft platform, 1 second. GC's going to get the reversal hit instead from Yuz. We switch to Greatsword. No, back to regular, of course. I mean, at this point, right, you're just looking for one conversion. Yeah, just risk for all of it. Why not?
They're trying to call out Kyna, who's been jumping to the soft platform to get around Yuz with the N-Sig. It gets punished by the unarmed recovery, and Kyna unarming Yuz. Something around the wall, and a very aggressive option out of disadvantage with the ground pound there to disrupt Yuz's corner pressure. The nair comes in, but can't find the last hit. Finally does, though, with that end light, and it's not impossible for Yuz, but it's very, very hard, especially as Kyna is going to land onto an axe, I believe.
I don't blame Yuz for going for Greatsword here. He is going to swap off, though. Doesn't pick it up either. That's a huge blunder.
Okay,
Spawn helped him out there for sure, but that was about to get dicey real fast.
They kind of on the hammer here. Of course, the downlight is going to find confirms now into KOs, or just an end light maybe at the ledge, or just that downlight into side air to take game number 1.
Yep.
I mean, it's actually so jarring to see the difference in movement from both players. Kyna just very, very controlled. Sometimes you're seeing dashes, hardly any jumps. Yuz just jumping around trying to get anything going.
It's so interesting, too. Like, both players really seemed a little apprehensive to just be the first to press a button in those situations. So it left us in this position where we're like, well, they're just kind of moving. Like, what do we say about this at this point? But yeah, I mean, like I said before, I think in that first stock, Yuz looked really, really in control on the Greatsword. Again, played the pace very, very well, but got swept out from under him on the first stock. Kind of took that stock lead and kind of just rolled with it all the way to the bank.
Yeah, and that's just what Kyna is going to be able to do on the Terra specifically, is play very controlled and just get your 1 and 2s and get so much damage in the process. And, you know, spots where Kyna is able to pick up an axe and just juggle use, get so much damage build, take the stock first, and really build extra credit. And that's the one thing that I think Kyna does, is you just eventually cannot keep up with the damage pacing. We'll see if Use on the Greatsword can prove me wrong here. We need to see some big strings maybe, but so far Kyna has yet to be hit.
Just a couple 1-2s right there. Love to see that. Kyna just gets back to stage for free as well. Favorable spawn on the left side means Use gets nothing after getting disarmed right there as well. Quick little get off me means maybe he picks up the weapon. Yeah, it's going to be sword.
In that spot, Kyna in disadvantage and Use is the one to dodge first. I mean, that's just kind of the fear that Kyna is able to put into Use so far. Nice
Wow,
nair.
that's a big reach from Use right there. It's going to be a punish. Next one might be a stock as well.
Yeah, this isn't exactly where you want to be on the sword. You like it in low damage as well as high damage to find KOs, but as a damage builder in the mid damage, maybe not the greatest option.
Sure. Positioning around, kind of trying to snipe that one out of the sky. Is not going to get it. Weapon throw to extend this one a little bit further. Use off the left side. There's first strike going over to Kyna.
So much force on that side air from Roman Reigns, and it just makes it so much harder for Use to get back in this game, as that Sig off of the dodge in read. Kyna now extending a juggle as well and getting so much extra credit, but Use finds the connection into the side finisher to close out that stock, and a lot closer than game 1, Wald.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. A little bit of time without the weapon spawn, so Kyna has to fight this one unarmed, but Use just did not want to press a button until the weapon came through for Kyna. Waiting on the soft platform as well was a great look, but Kyna couldn't get too much more damage after that. It's slight disadvantage to Use.
And kind of holding the center stage, dashing here and there to try to position underneath Use and continue a juggle. Use trying to do the same on Kyna, but Kyna hasn't been caught out in the air as much. We'll see if Use can prove me wrong there, though, with that nair into the chase dodge. Trying to get some offense going, and it's working for Use. I like this greatsword play.
Yeah, I feel like a couple more hits, maybe Kyna gets disarmed right here, and you can play around that, but we're not even going to mention it again. That weapon spawn's off the table. Use threw that one away as well, but that's a favorable spawn as well to get the greatsword back online.
Refreshes so you don't get it unarmed by this next side air that Kyna will inevitably hit.
Wow, no whiff punish. That's huge. That one's not going to do it. Next one will.
Ugh. And Use going for those reads there off the starter, trying to get a defensive option out of Kyna. But they're catching the movement to the soft platform. I think that's where Use has been making a majority of his money in the juggle game, is calling out Kyna in disadvantage, using the soft platform as an attempt to get some movement. It hasn't been working. Use is covering it very well.
Good damage buildup right there. I'll call that good extra credit for Use so far, assuming Kyna gets this weapon right here, finds the knockout in just a second. Big swing won't be enough to do it just yet, but the weapon throw is close. Still has enough, though.
Kind of choosing the correct option to go for the weapon toss there, but not quite enough.
Oh my goodness. The patience from Kyna to not press anything right there is crazy. And then you get the stock off the other side. Good for you.
See what weapon Kyna is going to look to employ here. Goes onto the axe to try to juggle this unarmed. Use picking up the greatsword, though. Okay, that's a good start here with the end light. Use stuck off on the wall, gets scooped up with that downlight into nair. That's some big damage.
Okay, dodge through regains center, though, for Use. That's pretty massive right now. You get the bridge 1-2 set up. A little more down. What? Okay, chill. What is this?
He just walked up slowly and sidelighted, and it worked.
Oh, my word. Okay.
I like the aggression from Use out of the corner, but not fully pulling the trigger.
That's enough.
Does there, it just KOs.
Wow, that's that seemed quite early.
Yeah,
actually. Yeah. That's crazy.
Maybe Taros is strong.
Maybe
Twitter
I ain't gonna say anything about that. But I mean, Kyna's up 2-0. We could talk about that in the bottom of the screen right there. I mean, what a turnaround from Kyna, right? I said it before in game 1. There were certain points of the match where Use looked firmly in control, at least just controlling the tempo and how the speed was going to be played there. But then there were these moments where Kyna was like, "I'm just not gonna press anything."
Yep.
And then you're gonna make a mistake eventually.
Yeah.
Crazy to see.
In action being like one of the best actions for Kyna, and that just continues to be the case as he continues to win tournaments. His aura builds, and it just makes the strategy of like
an insurmountable aura.
Yeah,
that's
he's
crazy.
Just slowly walking up to Use, and in a lot of these spots, Use even in advantage state is dodging preemptively for Kyna's aggression, where Kyna doesn't even look to get a hit off. So it's just really showing like kind of the mental game as well.
For sure, for sure. See if Use can make some magic happen right here. This is still winner's side, of course, of top 4, so it won't be the end of the bracket just yet. But, I mean, this is, again, a huge advantage for Kyna.
You pointed out in game 1, Yu's burning a lot of resources off the wall there, double exclamation points again. The same motif of having to burn all these defensive resources versus Kyna when trying to jump around. And right now, Kyna, I mean, has taken very little damage and continues to rack it on there. Goes for the downlight off the gravity cancel, didn't find it, but an end light surely will close out this stock. Yu's, knowing that, plays very vertically. I like the choice, but can you meaningfully get any damage? I mean, I don't know yet.
Get a couple chips in. I mean, again, it's just any light hit is probably enough to do it at this point. That one close, but yeah.
Once Nair starts killing, we got problems.
For sure, for sure. Let's see. Okay, reaching the wrong way. Kyna will find first strike once again. And I'm glad that you pointed out the resource management on the side of Yu's for recoveries, right? Because I think a big thing was he went into 2 exclamation point edge slip like 3-4 times in a row over the course of this set. Kyna has very clearly caught on to that at this point. But the thing is, I feel like Yu's is almost overthinking the recovery because Kyna's not pressing anything off stage to try to force.
Yeah, and as you were explaining that wall interaction, Kyna losing a wall interaction as Yuz is able to side air into the wall.
Sure.
And I mean, I like to see that for sure from Yuz, especially in the high damage situations. Downlight side air won't KO, but it'll set up really good edge guarding spots. And I think Yuz definitely is going to be able to play for that advantage for sure.
Okay, weapon spawn on the soft platform. We'll get a little bit of a setup right there, but Kyna doesn't even want it, defending away. Wow, good weight from Yuz. That was excellent, but again, just only a 1-2, and you reset once again.
Yeah, you know, we see a lot of greatsword clips being long string weapon, but right now Yuz playing it kind of like Axe almost, getting 1-2 hits, building damage, and trying to set up strong advantage state instead of going for long strings.
Oh, big reach. I don't blame him for it, but that was a good dodge from Kyna. Hanging in there right now. Yuz has opportunity to take his first lead of the set as well.
Burns the dodge there in case Kyna goes for a gravity cancel sig. Nice pick up there, goes for the down air. The Russian Mafia not fully connecting, but still.
The weight's on both sides, but Kyna is the one to strike there. And just like that, stock lead goes over to Kyna. It could be gone in an instant, though.
Kyna doesn't even try to weapon starve. Yuz is very confident in this hammer game plan, and now on the unarmed, something about South America is their strength on unarmed. Definitely willing to scrap off, but that classic down air into Nair from Yuz. The Yuz classic on the greatsword, closing out that stock, and a lot closer game, but this is kind of exactly what happened last game.
Right.
Kyna is going to pick up a weapon here, and if the last game is to tell you how this is going to go, Yuz isn't going to get a hit again.
Their last 3 sets all went to game 5 as well, so crazy would be to get a blowout right here in a 3-0 in favor of Kyna.
Yeah.
Very possible for Yuz to make this comeback right here. It starts with a couple bridges.
A nice dodge there, and going for the full finisher vertically, and Kyna is able to punish that accordingly. Yuz with recovery, looking to juggle Kyna's axe. Hasn't been finding a lot of success in that attempt, but okay.
Okay, Kyna with the dodge up on second hit there with the great sword.
God.
What a call out, and it's just over like that. Kyna with the quick 3-0.
Yeah, that axe recovery.